Hi everyone, today we are doing lesson 1 on scatterplots. This is actually a review lesson. We did work on this in our functions unit, but we're going to extend it a little bit this week, so we need to do a little bit of review first. So we're going to talk about positive and negative relationships, as well as strong, moderate, and weak relationships between data points. Lesson 1, Scatterplots. Your learning target for today is I can identify a positive and negative relationship and identify if the relationship is strong, moderate, or weak, given a scatter plot. We've actually done this before, so hopefully today's lesson will be nice and simple. Remember that we always read graphs from left to right. When we read a scatter plot, if the data points generally go up, like you're walking up a hill, there is a positive relationship. If the data points generally go down, there is a negative relationship. Sometimes the word relationship is used intertwined with association. So it could also be a negative association. Or also sometimes we use the word correlation for negative correlation or positive correlation. Number 1, state the type of relationship, either positive or negative, for each scatter plot below. So I'm going to do the first one with you. So starting with letter A, we always read the graph from left to right. So I'm starting at my left-hand side here, and I'm going to move with the data points. So the data points seem to be going down. So it's like we're walking down a hill. So that means this relationship would be negative. All right, pause the video and do B and C on your own. All right, check your work with my work. Both of B and C are both positive. C, you can notice, kind of has a curve. We're going to talk about that in lesson 2. Now, that is positive or negative. Now we're going to talk about the strength of our data. So to figure out the strength of the data, you must analyze how close the data points are to the line of best fit. When data points are, if data points are really close, so if the points are really close to each other and really close to that line of best fit, it's going to be a strong relationship. If they are really spread apart, it is a weak relationship. If the data points are somewhere in between, it's called a moderate relationship. And if the data points have no pattern at all, if they're spread and they're not going up or down, that means they're going to have no relationship. All right, let's look at these examples down here. Number 2 says to rank the strength of each best fit line below as none. So that means there's literally no pattern whatsoever. They're all over the place. Weak, which means that the data points are pretty far apart. Moderate, meaning they're getting a little bit closer, and strong means that they are really close. So we have 4 different graphs down here. There's going to be one of each graph. So let's do the obvious ones first. So I don't know about you, but my eyes are gravitating towards B. Those points are really close to each other, and that means that they're really close to that line of best fit. So this is a really strong relationship. Okay, so now I want you to try the other ones on your own. Remember, no relationship is when the points are the farthest apart and have no pattern. Moderate, you're slowly, then we would go to weak. Weak, they're getting a little bit closer together, but they're still really far apart. Moderate, even closer. Okay, so pause the video and finish the rest. All right, check your work with my work. This problem was pretty much process of elimination, because if it was just given like letter D, you can argue that that's either a weak or moderate relationship. So it's kind of just, they will never give you a point or never give you a graph without having a process of elimination or having a multiple choice option. And the last problem for today. Number 3, the scatter plot below shows the association between 2 variables. Which of the following would be the most accurate way of describing the relationship? Now, I don't know about you, but I usually look for positive or negative first. And looking at our multiple choice options, I see the words strong, weak, and moderate, and positive and negative. Okay, so let's first read the graph from left to right. The data points are generally going down. So that means we have a negative relationship. So I'm going to eliminate anyone that says positive. I know you don't have the capability to draw on your Google Doc, but just if you see what I'm doing, hopefully that's making sense to you. Now, so the other options we have are strong and moderate. Okay, strong and moderate. Now, this is kind of tricky because how do we know if that's really strong or not? Now, the data points are pretty close to each other, but it's not like obvious that they are super, super strong. So we are going to say that this is going to be a moderate relationship, choice 4. So that's what this blank is up here for you to put your answer in right there. Okay. And at the bottom, I have your self-assessment, a link straight to your self-assessment. We are done with lesson 1 for today, so make sure you self-assess and let me know if you have any questions.